Hi, this is Amy Kovalchick. I'm here from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York for the Men's Basketball A10 Media Day 2015. I'm being joined right now by Davidson College, the Wildcats coach Bob McKillop. Hi, sir. How are you today?
Hi, Amy. How are you? Wonderful to be with you.
Wonderful to have you here. So you're back on home turf, right? You're from Queens?
Yeah, not far from here, about 20-25 minutes east of here, and terrific to be back in the Holy Land.
The Holy Land it is. And speaking of Holy Land and other things with rich history, you, Coach, had a wonderful month last month. You were inducted into the New York City Basketball Hall of Fame. How did that make you feel? What did that mean to you with such a rich history here, being basketball town in New York?
Well, you know, you look at the rich history, and then you see the inductees who have been placed and given that great honor, and it just blows your mind that this could ever happen for you, and to have it happen this summer amidst the great accomplishments of Stefan Curry, amidst the success of our program last year in the Atlantic 10 was just quite a dessert for an extraordinary meal that we had last year.
Well, speaking of, I was going to bring up Steph Curry. You obviously coached him. What does he still mean to you? Do you have still a lot of contact with him? And I'm sure you're quite proud of the accomplishments he's had with the Warriors.
Stefan continues to wear Davidson College on his heart. People know that, yes, he's Stephan Curry, the Golden State Warriors, but he played at Davidson College. Stefan will never forget that, and he has been a model of excellence, not just as a player, but he's been a model of excellence as a parent, as a sibling, as a spouse. In every aspect of his life, he is giving our players, our program, something to model everything they do upon. And he came back 3 weeks ago, met with our guys, worked out with them, and for our players to be able to touch him, feel him, see him, speak with him, just accentuated how much a model of excellence he is.
I see the emotion when you speak of him. It's very obvious that you have a strong connection with him still.
I'm fortunate. I have great guys. The players who've played for me over the years are just wonderful young men. Stefan is another one of those wonderful young men, and the pride that we feel for what he's accomplished, but for how he's accomplished it, not just the accolades, but the way he's done it. The balance between confidence and humility, the balance between freedom and discipline, the balance between all the things that made him great represent what we think our program aspires to represent.
Well, he certainly had a very good role model in you, Coach, for many years, so I'm certain that that's something that he carries with him as well.
You know, I think that Stefan and his family should be something looked at by the media, by everybody, as being a great young man because of great parents. Del and Sonia, outstanding parents, and Stefan now becoming an outstanding parent himself. It's funny how that happens. You know, mom and dad passed the torch to son passed the torch now to daughters, and daughters maybe pass the torch to their children.
Well, also, Coach, let's go back here for your tenure at Davidson College. I was reading, you're entering your 27th year. Looking back, and you look like you're 27 years old, by the way, so let me just tell you that. Looking back, Coach, what have you seen from coaching day one to the 10th year to entering this year? What has changed with you yourself, with players? And like I overheard you earlier, we were talking about, adjustments in the game. I mean, instant replay these days is everywhere, and how it's just changed so much in so many years. And I know we don't have lots of time, but if you could please just give me any insight on what you've seen so much of. And I mean, you are the longest tenured coach. at Davidson.
27 years of coaching at Davidson, and actually 43 being a head coach, gives you a tremendous number of experiences. So therefore, my mind is filled with plays, with thoughts, with theories, with philosophies. And the challenge and the thing that I've learned most is that the more you consolidate, the simpler you make it, the better it is for your team, the better it is for you. A second thing I learned is that your players are not chess pieces. Every player is somebody's son. And if you can treat your players as if they are somebody's son, I think that goes a long distance in terms of great player-coach relationships and also players reaching and achieving their aspirations.
And Coach, last season as well, you won the Atlantic 10. First season, Davidson was in the Atlantic 10. What did you see that changed from coming from Southern Conference, which, by the way, I believe 7-time winningest coach they named you in the but how was that for you and your team?
The tremendous challenge of the Atlantic 10 is, number one, it was a game on a national stage every night. The emotional and the physical drain of that schedule was an eye-opener for me. You're not on a regional stage anymore. There were no games that you could look at and point to and say, it's a W. Every game was a battle. And it wasn't just a battle physically, it was a battle emotionally because of the amount of importance that was invested in each game, because of the level of coaches, the level of players, the venues, the crowds, the travel. And it was an eye-opening experience.
Who this season are you looking for to be the ultimate leader to keep this going for Davidson?
We will have a three-headed leadership role given to Brian Sullivan, Jack Gibbs, and Peyton Aldridge. And they were named captains yesterday. Peyton, only a sophomore, yet named the captain. And I shouldn't even say given the role of being leaders. They have earned that role. And they have earned it by their performance in tough times. They have earned it by the way they have handled themselves and their own responsibilities. They've led themselves. And when they can lead themselves, I think they can lead a team.
Well, Coach, I thank you so much, and I think your team's going to be headed further and further for success, and I hope that I can sit here with you next year, and maybe when we're celebrating 10 more years being at Davidson College. I thank you so much, Coach.